Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Kay Shipman connects rural routes for you. For 3 decades, Kay has delivered important news. She covers everything from legislative issues to the latest in soil and water conservation. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I love covering so many aspects of agriculture and providing readers with the facts they need to make better decisions. I also get to work with farmers and meet new people along the way.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com and Farm Week keep you connected.
Does the warmer weather have you itching for a weekend getaway? Take your Illinois Farm Bureau membership savings with you.
Farm Bureau members can save up to 20% at choice hotels, including favorites like Comfort Suites, Sleep Inn, Quality Inn and Suites, with even more to choose from.
Call 800-258-2847 or visit the Choice Hotels website to search all the hotels at once and to make advance reservations.
Contact your local County Farm Bureau for your discount code number.
You're listening to RFD Town and Country Partners, connecting you with the food you eat, the Illinois farmers who grow it, and the food-related events, destinations, and lifestyles that make our state great.
Good day to you, and welcome to Town and Country Partners here on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Rita Frazier. Talk about a farmer who grows the food. We're going to head right to the farm, the orchard of Randy Graham at Curtis Orchard in Champaign County. And you tell me, Randy, that this is the day to be on your orchard. Everything's going on.
That's for sure. Today, the very first apple blossoms are opening up, and that's pretty much on schedule. Every year's a little bit different, but they look pretty good. If we can hold these temperatures, we'll get good pollination. We finally got a few days strung together with no rain, and things are starting to dry out, so we're planning to try trellising some of the trees that we were able to squeeze in during a dry spell about 3 weeks ago, and then trying to work some other ground for additional planting. And if we can avoid rains this week, we should get a lot of our trees in the ground, which is a big deal. We try to do that in April so they have a chance to heal in and get some good moisture, get a good growing start before we hit those drier months in the summer.
Sounds like a place to be. I'm curious. I think you're going to share a picture of one of those first blossoms for the Zestar apple tree. You tell me it's a cousin to an apple crisp. I think you've mentioned that to us before. Greatly popular.
Yes, Zestar has a lot of similarities to the Honeycrisp apple, which is our most popular apple and the best seller. It's earlier than Honeycrisp, which puts it a little out of the prime apple season. It's in mid-August. The good thing about that is we have enough growing to do U-pick, so it gets us a good start with a very flavorful U-pick apple, and that's one of the things we like about it. It's an excellent eating quality apple. People like it. They just don't know it that well because it hits a little bit early.
Yeah, and the first thing that I think about when I think about a Honeycrisp or this type of apple is just that first drip down your chin because it's so darn juicy.
Yeah, juicy, really solid crunch. I mean, we still have some Honeycrisp that we have in storage from last year, and they still have excellent crunch. It's a remarkable apple, really. Zestar is good like that. It doesn't have quite the holding quality as a Honeycrisp, so we moved through it, and then once Honeycrisp are on board, then we're on to that variety.
Now, you mentioned catching up on the tree planting. So on an average year, how many new trees do you get in the ground?
This year we'll put in about 2,000. We've got about 700 of those in the ground, so we're about a third of the way through it. We're in the process of renovating the entire orchard block by block, so it's a lengthy process. We plan to spread it out over 10 or 12 years because we have to get some of those new plantings into production before we take all of the older, more productive trees out and replace them. So we're going from about 200 trees to the acre to 800, and these will be trellised. So a different growing system than what we had before. The ones before were self-supporting. They were more common for what we grew in the 70s and 80s, and these are the trend that everyone's going to is more trees per acre trellised.
You know, you think about that. So your orchard has a long family history, and all of the apples that have come up. When you retire a tree, you almost should have a ceremony, don't you think?
It is kind of sad. It's funny. Even though you have thousands of trees, you do actually, since you prune them individually and everything, you do kind of know each tree. It's kind of a funny thing. And some are problem children, and others are really productive, and you like them. They're your friend. So it is funny after all the years of production, yes, to cut a tree down is kind of hard.
So who's all involved? Now, we know you have a lot of hands-on during the harvest season, et cetera. Your daughter's a part of the operation. How many people does it take to keep your orchard running?
We have about 6 or 7 year-round, and then we bump up to 120 to 125 in season. And they're trained in a lot of various skills, and we cross-train a lot of people so that we can move people around, give them variety, and they have a broad skill set so that we don't, have everyone pigeonholed in one position. And over time, you find out who's skilled most at what position, and you try to give them more time where they're best suited. And then if you're a year-round person, you kind of have to wear many hats. In fact, a couple of the office staff are out on the truck right now pounding some posts to support little trees. So if you're full-time here, you'll work in the office, but you're going to get some outside work too, which is what most people like, is a variety.
I was just going to say, so, we talked to some ag students here in the building today about, having a job that you love, and most people in agriculture do love it. I would think that job satisfaction on an Illinois orchard would be pretty high.
It is pretty high, and the nice thing about it is your office staff, they don't become insulated that way. So when they get questions asked, if they've been out there hands-on, they're a lot better able to answer the questions and to have an understanding of everything that goes on the property. And since we consider ourselves ambassadors for agriculture, that's really important that our staff are well-informed and well-educated, and they know how to interact with the public and explain how things work. So we see it as really a win-win. They get more job satisfaction, and we have a more rounded employee.
Randy Graham is our guest today, a monthly visit from Curtis Orchard. Randy's also the president of the Specialty Growers Association. Randy, had sort of some bad news, even though we've kind of heard a little bit, some bits and pieces. Reports out of Southern Illinois on that peach crop don't look great.
Yeah, they don't. It's a little bit early to tell, and I started growing peaches maybe about 7-8 years ago just to try it out because there were a few guys successful in my area. Typically, Champaign is in the belt where it's kind of a no-no to go with peaches unless they're a super hardy variety. I don't see a blossom on any of my peaches, and what I'm hearing farther south is we've got some pretty serious winter damage. I'm hearing numbers like maybe 25% of a crop. I think it's probably a little bit early to tell, and hopefully it will be a little bit better than that because sometimes, you don't need nearly a high percentage of blossoms to make a big crop. So we're hoping the end result will be a little better than what we're hearing at this stage.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed. And I know that, you kind of mentioned to us on this program that you guys all talk, growers from north, south, east, and west. So if there's a shortage in one area, you kind of can make up the difference. But if Illinois is struck as a whole, do you pull in from outside of the state?
Yeah, most will. I mean, it's not ideal, but, yeah, you will. Illinois's got kind of a unique soil profile, so you really have a high quality peach in Illinois. It's not as famous for peaches maybe as Georgia or some other places, but the soils are so good in Illinois that the quality of fruit is exceptional. So anytime we don't have a full crop, for one, there's no trouble selling what you do have, but then the demand is such that you have to make it up somewhere.
So about a minute left or so. Anything new on the association front? I know you guys have worked hard to get some new staff on at the University of Illinois. Things going good there?
Yes, things are starting to happen there. They've been doing a lot of hiring. They've had quite a few retirements and replacements based on positions that aren't directly affecting specialty crops, but now that they're getting some of those solidified, we are turning attention to entomology and cropping systems specialists. So we are crafting job descriptions for those positions right now, and hopefully the interview and application process and everything will get underway shortly. So I do see a very aggressive work being done at the university to fill positions and to reshape the departments so that they are serving the stakeholders to the best of their ability, and I'm very encouraged by that. Having said that, I know that enrollments, particularly in ACEs, are a concern. They need to increase enrollment numbers to really be able to support all the positions, whether they're teaching, research, or extension. So there's a lot of work going on a lot of fronts to bolster the College of ACEs and really the university as a whole. I see a lot more collaborations occurring across campus with engineering, computer science, and the College of ACEs, and I think those will bear a lot of fruit, pun intended, down the road.
Well, Randy, we always enjoy our visit with you. Next month, let's start the countdown to donut season for the Orchard store. How about that?
That sounds great.
Okay. Hey, enjoy yourself, life on the orchard there, and then we'll look for that picture. Again, Randy Graham, president of the Illinois Specialty Growers Association. Coming up later in the program, we're going to put the spotlight on FFA advisors around the state and some American FFA degree recipients from the state. This is Town and Country Partners.
Are you preparing for planting season? We don't mean to be a pest, but here's a few things you need to know before you grow. The Illinois Department of Agriculture now requires special local needs labels, including new restrictions for the use of herbicide dicamba on top of soybeans in Illinois for the 2019 growing season. Did you know these additional restrictions go beyond federally approved labels? Remember, the label is the law. To find out more about these Illinois-specific labels, visit ilfb.org/label-aware.
Hello, I'm Trooper Teal at the Illinois State Police. April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. According to the most recent report from the National Highway Safety Administration, 394,450 people were either injured or killed in distracted driving-related incidents. Avoid distractions while driving, such as talking on your cell phone, texting, eating, and even adjusting the radio. Wear your seatbelt and remember to just drive.
A message from the Illinois Farm Bureau and the Illinois State Police.
With what happens on the farm can impact your family and is related to food, I'm Mike Orso with RFD Town and Country Partners. If some marketing plans developed by Illinois college students hold up, two crops could be making a comeback here in Illinois. As part of a national agri-marketing competition, a student group from Illinois State University developed a plan to market a water additive made from Illinois-grown black currants. Researchers at the school have been examining possible opportunities of growing more of the fruit, used mostly at present for jams, jellies, and pies. ISU senior Brent Stockey of New Lenox explains.
We've learned that we have the most prime growing conditions for currant in the nation in central Illinois, which led to us come up with a product of why not try to take the nutrient supplements that black currant provides and put them into water.
Stockey and junior Becky Johnson of Bourbonnais joined their National Agri-Marketing student chapter at ISU, in part to learn about and developed a product marketing plan. Those little containers containing concentrate people drop into water represent a multi-billion-dollar global market.
It was all natural, and it only consisted of 4 ingredients, which was black currant water, stevia, and citric acid, which some of the other products, they have multiple dyes and non-natural artificial fillers. Students
in the NAMA chapter at the University of Illinois examined the viability of a beverage made from Illinois-grown oats. U of I statistics show at one time, Illinois farmers grew as many as 3 million acres of oats. Senior Abby Mongan of Oregon thinks a sweetened condensed milk made from Illinois oats has potential.
We had different groups. We each brainstormed, and then we pitched them all to industry professionals, and they chose that this one would be the one that we would work on. It was just oat milk to begin with, but then we saw more of a niche in the market to go with the sweetened condensed milk.
The U of I and ISU marketing teams had to compete with agribusiness schools from colleges and universities across the United States and Canada. U of I freshman Sean Welch of Altona talks about the time commitment needed to put the oat milk marketing plan together.
Probably at least 2 hours a week, every week, up until the last month or so. And for the past month, we've been doing about 5 hours a week, coming up with our speeches and being able to, advocate and explain this project that we've spent months on and kind of put all that explanation into 20 minutes.
So who knows? If these future food sector leaders have their way, black currants and oats could be comeback crops here in Illinois. For RFD Town and Country Partners, I'm Mike Orso.
RFD Radio Network's DeLoss Yankee connects rural routes for you. DeLoss delivers essential farm and food-related news to our listeners. His witty voice has been heard on the air for more than 2 decades. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
Growing up on a farm prepared me for my career. I try to know a little about a lot of things and let the people I interview be the experts. I've always wanted to be on the radio. I'm just happy to do what I enjoy.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
It's where your home is built, your landscape is planted, and your children play. Land is all around us, so Illinois farmers have dedicated years to learning how to best care for it. Today, we're bridging modern knowledge with resources from Mother Nature to promote natural soil activity and choosing crops that enhance soil health. To learn more about conservation efforts, visit ilfarmersconserve.com. Preserving our water, protecting our land, providing our food.
This message brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau.
We're back here on Town and Country Partners on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Rita Frazier. Another edition of Follow the Ag Teacher. Claire Geiger at Nokomis High School will be moving to her home county for next school year. She has spent the last 4 years in the ag department at Nokomis, and I caught Claire working on Good Friday of last week. Typical for an ag teacher, just getting the job done. Claire told us more about her time at Nokomis and a little bit about the changes coming her way. Boy, time flies, huh?
Yeah, it sure does. When you're doing what you love, time just gets away from you.
So you have had an awesome opportunity there with Randy Meyer and having a 2-advisor program that means that you've got a lot of interest there.
Right. Not only do you have a lot of interest, but you provide the kids different opportunities. Each teacher can kind of specialize in an area and get them a little bit further in their passions within the industry.
Can you pick out a couple highlights from your time there in the last 4 years?
Some of the great things that we've done just in the classroom, I've definitely brought my love of agriculture science. And so we've had a couple kids compete at state in agri-science fair projects where they do an experiment, they record their data and present their experiments that they've conducted. So that's one of the great things that I think I brought. But definitely our FFA chapter has done quite a few different things. One of the great things this year that both me and Mr. Meyer have greatly immersed ourselves in was our record book areas. Kids keep supervised agricultural experience projects, SAEs, and this year we had the great opportunity of providing 14 of our students the chance to compete at districts this year, where they interviewed on their project and what they've done and the leaps and bounds that they've made in not only their content areas that they're interested in, but they have to actually get in front of somebody and interview, really bringing together full circle those well-rounded kids and making sure that they can make it after high school in whatever path they choose.
So you're doing what you love. You've had lots of success, and we ask you to reflect today because this will, when you end this school year, it will end your time at Nokomis.
That's correct. I've loved my time here, but I've gotten a great opportunity to actually return to my home community of Highland, Illinois. And so I will start my year there in August.
Maybe thoughts, your hopes, goals for your new chapter of your life.
Yeah, I look so forward to working with Renee Barr down there, as well as the other new ag advisor, Mr. John Lamp. All three of us will be working together in order to keep Highland FFA chapter as strong as it has been, and hopefully put our own spin on it. But definitely something that I'm super excited about, getting back to my area, getting back to my heritage and roots. I grew up in the 4-H and FFA of Madison County and really hope to continue my involvement in those groups.
Anything I didn't ask you, Claire, that you'd like to add at this point?
As far as ag education goes, yes, it's my fourth year teaching, and I've had a great experience here at Nokomis, and you mentioned it right out of the gate. Working alongside a veteran teacher who knows their stuff, I don't think young agriculturalists or young ag educators really understand how much wealth of a knowledge that those guys can carry. I have learned so much in my time here from working alongside Randy, and to just bring everything together. He has just helped me along my way, no matter if I was going to continue here or go home. He really wanted to make sure that I was learning that skill set that I needed no matter where I was.
Congratulations to Claire Geiger moving from Nokomis to Highland FFA. We wish her continued success. Wabash Valley Community College ag student, intern at South Central FS, Richland County farmer Garrett Williams will be receiving his American FFA degree this fall. We talked with Garrett last week, and he talked more about his background, his education, and his Southern Illinois farm.
A month away from graduating with my associate's degree in both agricultural production and agricultural business. I'll be transferring soon to Southern Illinois University Carbondale to study crop soil and environmental management, and hopefully obtain a career as an agronomist.
Well, we know you'll get there. Tell us about your home farm. Where is it located?
Home farm is located in Wynoosa, Illinois. It's a small farm. It's been around for over 100 years and just been a little wet around there lately, especially with all the rains that have impacted the Midwest here.
You mentioned farming with your dad. As you go to Carbondale, will you still be able to be a part of that home operation?
That's definitely a goal of mine as I transfer to Carbondale. I'm hoping to be able to still maintain an open schedule, especially on the weekends and throughout the holidays, to be able to come home and be able to help assist around the farm in any way possible.
And we mentioned you're an intern. Tell us about this internship at South Central FS.
Right now, the conditions are a little wet, so it's been a little slow, but on a busy day, you can find me in the semi-hauling product, be it a dry fertilizer or agricultural chemical. Some days, working in the shop, doing a little bit of preventative maintenance on different tools and things that is needed. Hauling chemical and working in the shop are two of the biggest components that make up the internship at this point in time. Getting a real good feel for the agricultural retail side of the business and understanding the logistics of how agricultural retail works in the bigger picture. Having
met you and your family, couldn't be more impressed with you, Garrett. Just who you are as a student, and you're going to get recognized for all of this hard work in that the American FFA degree this fall. Tell us what it means to you.
Definitely an honor and accomplishment, and I want to extend a congratulations to all those other kids across Illinois and across America who have reached this milestone in their career. It means a lot to me. 5 and 6 years of hard work on the farm has definitely been well worth it, and a message to those kids in FFA today and growing up. It's something to look forward to, and it's a good reason to put in a lot of hard work and a lot of effort.
Garrett Williams, Richland County. Congratulations to Garrett. We also wish him the very best of luck. And that will do it for today's Town and Country Partners program here on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Rita Frazier.
Thank you for joining us for RFD Town and Country Partners. Get out and enjoy Illinois.